Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Meiraj Atif and I am a level 1 student at Rehan School Islamabad campus. So, viewers, as you know, I will come with a new topic of colony. So, let's start. So, today's topic is the importance of biodiversity. So, let's start. Hello, ChatGPT. Can you hear me? I have a topic on the importance of biodiversity. So, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. I can hear you loud and clear. Biodiversity is such a rich topic. What aspect are you thinking of focusing on, like the ecological benefits, its role in human health, or maybe its economic value?
No, I have many questions about 50 questions. So my first question is what is biodiversity and why it is important for life on Earth?
Ah, got it. Yeah, that's a great starting point. So, biodiversity refers to the variety of life on Earth, everything from genes and species to ecosystems. It's crucial because it supports ecosystem services like clean air, water, pollination of crops, basically everything we depend on. So, it's fundamental for a stable and resilient planet.
Okay, great answer. So my next question is how does biodiversity help maintain ecological balance?
Yeah, great follow up. So, biodiversity is like the web that holds ecosystems together. Different species fill specific roles. Predators control populations, plants produce oxygen, and decomposers break down waste. When all of these pieces interact, they keep things balanced. So, if one species declines, the whole system can be thrown off.
Okay, great answer. So my next question is what are the main benefits of biodiversity to ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. So biodiversity brings a ton of benefits to ecosystems. It boosts resilience. Ecosystems with lots of species can recover faster from disturbances. It also enhances productivity. More species mean more efficient energy flow and nutrient cycling. And of course, it supports things like clean water, stable soils, and even climate regulation. So it's really foundational.
Okay, great answer. So my next question is how does biodiversity help in climate regulation?
Ah, great question. So, biodiversity plays a big role in climate regulation. Diverse ecosystems like forests, wetlands, and oceans act as carbon sinks. They absorb and store carbon dioxide. Healthy ecosystems also moderate temperatures and rainfall patterns. So, when biodiversity declines, we lose that natural climate buffer, making us more vulnerable to climate extremes.
Okay, great. So my next question is, what role does biodiversity play in the food chain?
Ah, that's a really important one. Biodiversity is essential for food security. It provides a huge variety of crops, livestock, and wild foods, which gives us a buffer against disease and climate shocks. Different species also bring genetic diversity, which is key for breeding more resilient food sources. So without it, our food systems become way more vulnerable.
So ChatGPT. So my next question is, what is the relationship between biodiversity and ecosystem stability?
Yeah, great question. So, biodiversity is closely tied to ecosystem stability. The more diverse an ecosystem is, the more it can withstand disturbances like natural disasters or climate shifts without collapsing. Different species perform a range of functions, so if one group is lost, others can step in. In short, biodiversity acts like a buffer, keeping ecosystems strong and balanced.
Okay. So how does loss of biodiversity affect humans?
Yeah, that's a big one. When we lose biodiversity, it directly impacts humans in a lot of ways. We lose sources of food, medicine, and raw materials. Ecosystem services like clean water and air get disrupted. Plus, we also become more vulnerable to things like pandemics or natural disasters. So it really hits us both economically and in terms of health and well being.
Okay, great. So how does biodiversity help in climate regulation?
Ah, I see you're revisiting that one. So, biodiversity helps climate regulation by acting as a natural buffer. For example, forests, wetlands, and oceans store carbon and help keep temperatures in check. Diverse plant and animal species also influence how different habitats respond to climate stress. So, a rich diversity helps stabilize our climate by balancing these natural processes.
Okay. What are the economics benefits of biodiversity?
Yeah, that's a really key point. Biodiversity offers huge economic benefits. For one, it supports industries like agriculture, fishing, and forestry, so more species mean more resources. It also underpins ecotourism, which is a growing sector. And of course, healthy ecosystems save us money, like reducing flood damage or improving crop yields. So it's a big economic driver, even if it's sometimes less visible.
Okay. So tell me why is biodiversity considered a natural resource?
Yeah, that's a great point. Biodiversity is considered a natural resource because it provides us with tangible things we rely on, like food, clean water, raw materials, and even medicine. But it's also a resource because it gives us these services like pollination, pest control, and climate regulation. So just like oil or timber is something we depend on, but it's alive and renewable if we protect it.
Okay, what are the economic benefits of biodiversity?
You asked that earlier, but I'll expand a bit more. Beyond just agriculture and tourism, biodiversity supports pharmaceuticals. So many medicines come from plants and animals. It also helps stabilize economies by preventing resource collapses like fisheries or forests. So healthy biodiversity is really a foundation for long-term economic stability.
Okay, ChatGPT, great. So my next question is, why is protecting biodiversity important for future generation?
Yeah, that's a really crucial one. Protecting biodiversity is important because it ensures that future generations have the same, if not better, resources we have. It keeps ecosystems healthy so they can adapt to change, and it preserves the beauty and wonder of nature, something we want our kids and grandkids to enjoy and rely on.
Okay, how does biodiversity support medical and healthcare?
Great point. Biodiversity is a gold mine for medicine. Many of our drugs come from compounds found in plants, animals, and microbes. Think of aspirin, which came from willow trees, or cancer treatments derived from rainforest species. Plus, healthy biodiversity boosts resilience against new diseases, so it's a huge pillar of global healthcare.
Okay, great. So why are insects important for biodiversity?
Yeah. Insects are actually a cornerstone of biodiversity. They pollinate our crops and wild plants, recycle nutrients by breaking down waste, and serve as food for birds and other animals. Without insects, entire food webs would collapse, so they're absolutely vital for keeping ecosystems balanced and healthy.
Okay, my next question is, how does biodiversity support natural cycle like carbon and nitrogen cycles?
That's a great question. So, biodiversity is really the engine behind these natural cycles. Different plants, animals, and microbes all play a role. Plants taking carbon through photosynthesis, while soil organisms help cycle nutrients like nitrogen. So, a rich variety of life ensures these cycles stay balanced and efficient, keeping ecosystems productive and stable.
Okay, so what is the role of wildlife in biodiversity?
Yeah, wildlife is absolutely central. Animals from large mammals to tiny insects help pollinate plants, disperse seeds, control pests, and maintain the balance of ecosystems. They keep food webs intact, and without wildlife, we'd lose a lot of the complexity that makes ecosystems so resilient and productive.
Okay, great. So how does biodiversity support natural cycle like carbon and nitrogen cycle?
Of course, so biodiversity is really the backbone.
Yes, yes, please continue your answer.
Of course. So, biodiversity is really the backbone of natural cycles like carbon and nitrogen. Different species interact in ways that drive these cycles. Plants absorb carbon during photosynthesis, while microbes in soil fix nitrogen, making it usable for plants. So, a rich diversity of life ensures these cycles run smoothly, keeping the system balanced and productive.
Great answer. So my next question is great answer. So my next question is, what happened when biodiversity decrease?
Yeah, so when biodiversity declines, ecosystems become less resilient. We see a loss of ecosystem services like fewer pollinators for crops, reduced water purification, and less stability against climate change. Plus, when species disappear, we lose potential resources like medicines or new crops. So it really destabilizes both nature and human well being.
Okay, so my next question is, how does biodiversity support natural cycle, and how can we protect biodiversity in our communities?
Great combination of questions. So, biodiversity supports natural cycles by ensuring that different species contribute to things like carbon storage, nutrient recycling, and water filtration. To protect it in our communities, we can plant native species, reduce pollution, preserve green spaces, and support local conservation efforts. Every small action adds up.
Okay, what is the role of national park in biodiversity conservation?
Yeah, national parks play a huge role. They act as protected areas where habitats and species can thrive without human disruption. These parks preserve rare species, maintain genetic diversity, and serve as living laboratories for research. Plus, they offer spaces for people to connect with nature, raising awareness about the importance of conservation.
Okay, how does climate change affect biodiversity?
Yeah, that's a big one. Climate change really disrupts biodiversity. As temperatures shift, habitats like coral reefs, forests, and wetlands get altered or even lost. Species that can't adapt or migrate fast enough face extinction. And with fewer species, ecosystems lose resilience, making it even harder for them to bounce back.
Okay, why is biodiversity important for culture and spiritual values?
Ah, that's a beautiful angle. So, biodiversity is often at the heart of many cultures. Think of sacred forests, traditional medicines, or even species tied to myths and art. These natural elements shape identities, inspire rituals, and give people a sense of belonging. So, when we protect biodiversity, we're also protecting a huge part of cultural heritage and spiritual connection.
Specifically, my next question is why is biodiversity important for culture and spiritual values? Okay, ChatGPT. So my next question is why is biodiversity important for culture and spiritual values?
That's a really powerful question. Biodiversity often shapes. Ah, got it. You need 40 points on a topic. No problem. Just let me know which subject you want those points on, whether it's AI ethics, education, or something else, and I'll break. Ah, perfect. So, biodiversity is crucial for scientific research because it provides a vast array of species, genes, and ecosystems that we can study. Researchers learn how organisms adapt to environments, discover new medicines, and understand ecological balance. Essentially, every species is like a living experiment. So, the diversity we have is a goldmine of knowledge waiting to be tapped. Got it. I'll give you a structured set of 40 points on why biodiversity is important for scientific research. Source of new species to study, reveals how organisms adapt to climate change, helps understand evolutionary processes, provides models for genetic research, aids in discovering new pharmaceuticals, offers insights into disease prevention, helps track emerging diseases, supports biomimicry innovations, provides a baseline for environmental changes, informs conservation biology studies, enables better ecological modeling, shows how food webs function, helps assess ecosystem services, provides reference points for extinct species, supports agricultural research, helps improve crop resilience, shows how natural predators control pests, reveals soil health indicators, offers clues about climate history, helps identify keystone species, provides a rich resource for taxonomy studies, supports long term ecological monitoring, reveals interdependent relationships, helps understand pest resistance in agriculture, aids in climate adaptation strategies, provides inspiration for new materials, biomaterials, offers a deeper understanding of food security risks, supports environmental education, allows comparison across ecosystems, provides insight into species interactions, enables discovery of rare genetic traits. 32 helps understand invasive species impacts, provides a baseline for rewilding projects, aids in understanding resilience to disturbances, supports biomonitoring of environmental health, helps identify potential environmental tipping points, offers insights into ecosystem stability, provides a broad genetic library for future breeding programs, helps us understand how ecosystems respond to disturbances, creates a foundation for sustainable innovation. That should give you a solid, comprehensive set.
Okay, great ChatGPT. So my next question is how do invasive species harm biodiversity?
Ah, got it. So I'll lay out 40 points on why marine biodiversity is so important. Here we go. Supports global fisheries, regulates climate by absorbing carbon dioxide, provides oxygen through oceanic phytoplankton, offers a rich source of medicinal compounds, protects coastlines by stabilizing coral reefs, supports a vast range of marine food webs, drives tourism industries like diving and ecotourism, provides livelihoods for millions of people, helps balance marine and terrestrial ecosystems, houses unique species not found anywhere else, offers clues about early life on Earth, provides a buffer against storms and erosion, offers a vast genetic reservoir for future research, helps maintain global nutrient cycles, supports carbon sequestration, reducing greenhouse gases, provides habitats for migratory species, enables studies on adaptation to ocean acidification, offers insights into species resilience, provides food security through sustainable fisheries, enhances scientific understanding of ocean processes, helps track pollutants through marine food chains, provides biodiversity from overfishing or exploitation, supports traditional knowledge used in fishing communities, offers a foundation for marine protected areas, helps identify early signs of environmental stress, provides a model for climate adaptation in marine systems, reveals unknown species that could have industrial or scientific uses, helps us understand ocean acidification impacts. Great question. Biodiversity affects human health in so many ways. For starters, a diverse ecosystem can. हाँ, कोई बात नहीं। हाँ, बिल्कुल, ठीक है। अगर आपको अभी कॉल नहीं करनी है, तो कोई ज़रूरत नहीं। That's a really practical question. Students can help by doing things like planting native plants in school gardens, reducing single use plastics, joining local cleanups, and even raising awareness through projects or social media. Absolutely. Here are 40 simple ways students can help protect biodiversity. Plant native trees or plants, participate in local cleanup events, reduce single use plastics, start a school garden with native species, learn about local wildlife and share knowledge, use less paper, go digital when possible, support biodiversity clubs or groups, avoid using pesticides in school or home gardens, recycle and reduce waste, encourage family to buy locally sourced food, participate in citizen science projects like bird counting, use reusable water bottles, advocate for green spaces in your community, avoid releasing balloons or non biodegradable items outdoors, join nature walks or guided hikes, write to local officials about conservation issues, reduce energy consumption at home and school, encourage schools support sustainable fisheries or seafood choices, learn about endangered species in your region, create art or projects that celebrate nature, use public transport or bike instead of driving, learn about the role of pollinators like bees, create a habitat for birds or insects at home, educate peers about the importance of biodiversity, visit local natural reserves or parks, support organizations that protect habitats, support certified projects and groups, learn about the water cycle and its link to biodiversity, create a class project about local wildlife conservation, avoid disturbing natural areas during hikes, use environmentally friendly school supplies, avoid releasing pets or plants into the wild, participate in reforestation or beach clean projects, learn about traditional ecological knowledge, reduce meat consumption to lower your ecological footprint, join or support tree planting initiatives, learn about the impact of urbanization on wildlife, support renewable energy projects, advocate for green school policies. That gives a wide range of practical steps. That's a really important question. If biodiversity disappeared completely, ecosystems would unravel. We'd lose critical services like clean air, water, food supply, and climate regulation. Economies dependent on natural resources would collapse, and we'd see more disease outbreaks, food shortages, and climate instability. In short, life as we know it would be profoundly disrupted. Of course, Here are 40 points on how the world will be affected if biodiversity disappeared. Collapse of food chains, loss of natural pollinators, decline in agricultural productivity, disruption of climate regulation, increase in carbon levels and global warming, spread of zoonotic diseases, reduced availability of clean water, increased frequency of natural disasters, loss of medicinal plants and compounds, economic collapse in fishing industries, decline in tourism relying on wildlife, soil degradation due to loss of plant diversity, loss of traditional knowledge tied to nature, disruption of nutrient cycles, reduced resilience to environmental changes, reduced food insecurity, loss of cultural practices tied to nature, collapse of fisheries leading to unemployment, decline in ecosystem services like flood protection, loss of species that control pests naturally, decline in air quality due to fewer plants, loss of pollination reduces crop yields, less genetic diversity weakening resilience, decline in coastal protection from mangroves or reefs, less biodiversity makes ecosystems brittle, increase in invasive species due to lack of natural balance, reduced opportunities for scientific discovery, disruption of marine ecosystems, affecting ocean health, decline in animal behaviors like migration, loss of natural buffers against droughts, collapse of traditional fisheries leading to cultural loss, less resilience to natural changes like storms, decline in global biodiversity hotspots, loss of cultural identity tied to species.
Okay, so Viva, these are our colony. I hope you like it. See you in another colony with the new topic. So Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad.